Are you a nice and helpful person? Do you do it because you just want to be nice, or you do it because you just want to be liked, want to be accepted, want to be appreciated by others? Then you might be a people pleaser. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Binta. I create empowering content to help African women, especially moms, to reclaim their identity, build their self-confidence and self-love, and unlock their full potential. People pleasers are the nicest person in the world. They just want to help everyone with everything. Even if you didn't ask them for help, they're just willing to come and help you. They will never say no, or they struggle to say no to people. And sometimes there are people who abuse of their generosity. Now, let's see why we become a people pleaser. You know, I love to go deep and see why people do things. The first thing I've noticed or I've read about is our childhood. In our childhood, usually when you have grown up in a family where attention and love is not that much showed to the kids, or the love of the parents, or the love of the parents are showed by are conditional, like they put condition to give you that love and attention, then you try to do everything to please your parents. And that's where it starts. That's where it started when you were a kid. You do something and your parents say, wow, great. And then you feel good. And that's the only way they give you that love that you need. And you grow up thinking every time it's when you do something, then you get that love and attention. And you start doing that. Let's talk about now the consequences of being that person pleaser. Person pleaser first one, I think it's because you lack self-esteem. When you lack self-esteem, you try to go out and to find that love you didn't have for yourself, because the only way you feel being loved is just when you go out and someone shows you attention and love. You are not capable of having love for yourself, and that's why that's why I created this channel, because I want us to be able to feel loved without someone else giving us that love. We are the first one who's gonna give ourselves that love, and when we have it, we don't need anybody else to love us, because we will be full. We will have our cup full. We will be just loved by ourselves. And yeah, if you have been loved with someone, fine. If you are not, we already enough for ourselves. The second one is the lack of self-confidence. You have less confidence in yourself. Yeah. And another thing is you're gonna accept people to show you how is being confident. You're gonna just wait that people tell you you are good enough, you are worthy, and then you will feel confident and good, or you are not. That is very sad. And now, what are the fears that lies down of those emotions? Is the fear of being rejected, because we fear being alone. We fear of being abandoned. We fear to be alone. We fear to disappoint others. Why we fear that? Again, it's for staying alone. And we fear of being unloved. The first thing will be, we need to find solutions. What will be our first solution? It will be just knowing who we are. Self-awareness. Self-awareness, I will talk about it all the time. Because being self-aware is knowing who we are. When you know who you are, you won't need people to love you. You won't need people to accept you. You won't need people to approve you. You will feel enough for yourself. That's the first one. You need to know your value too. It's very important. Your value, your values. Because when you know your values, you will be able to understand your beliefs, your needs, and your emotions. What is very important, your emotions. Because the mental health is very important. Being super healthy, it starts with the mind, your mental health. Now the second solution is setting boundaries. Because I said a people pleaser never say no, or almost, even if not never, but almost never. They never say no. They need to learn how to put boundaries, healthy boundaries that will help them go through experiencing a better life, to get a better health, and being in a good and for the well-being first. That boundary will be knowing them and how to put them. I will just give you an example. If you have a friend that you're seeing for a dinner, and that friend, you fix an hour to see each other, like you said, 7 p.m. And that friend showed up at at 7:30 or 8 p.m. I'm sure you won't be happy. I'm sure you have lost like 1 hour waiting for her. And the first boundary, what will be your boundary? What will be the boundary you will set for that friend? Is telling her that 10-15 minutes is acceptable, but 1 hour, it's your boundary. You can't accept her to let you sit and waiting for her for 1 hour. You like her, you really want to get with her, sometimes for going out, having dinner together, but you can't. That's your limit. You can't pass 15 minutes or 30 minutes. It's the boundary you can set. You can't pass that. And then I'm sure that friend next time will never do that again, if she really understands your boundary. If she can understand that, it's up to you to not see her anymore. That is just an example of a boundary. But I think it's really good to have your boundary set with friendship, with relationship, with everything. Because that's the only way you will live a better life. By just being who you are and not just getting that friendship, for example, and you feel resentment, anger, and that leads to what? that leads to burnout, to exhaustion, and depression. Many people, because they can't tell people what they think, what they want. And this is very important, to set boundaries. Yeah, and the last thing, maybe for the people pleaser, people who can say no, people who is very difficult for them to say no. I have one last tip, is delaying your response. When someone asks you for something, I will take the African woman. Usually when I will talk about that too often, like family within Africa was asking for money, because we suffer from that. We're asking for money. You can say to them no. You know what you're gonna say? You're gonna delay your response when they ask you for money. You say, you know what? Let me think about it. I will get back to you. And then you think, because you have more time now, you're gonna go back to your finances and see if you have enough money to give it to that person. Sometimes too, it's like for an SMS, you can delay responding to that SMS, to that text message, and wait for the day before. By the way, I need to tell you about that. I was the kind of person who, when someone texts me, I need just to text back directly, because I will go back in my mind and think, oh, that person will just think I don't care about her. And you need to text back rapidly. But no, that's setting boundary too. If someone texts you, it's late, I will get back to you tomorrow, and I text back tomorrow. That's another way of setting boundary. Very important. Or for a call, phone, you do the same. He calls you today, or she calls you today, I will call you back tomorrow, and you call back tomorrow on the weekend. All depend on you. Then maybe let's sum up everything I said. What are the big things to remember here? People pleaser are the people who try to do something to be liked, to be appreciated, and to really get approval from others. And sometimes they can even twist what they have to say just to please the person who is in front of them. And what that leads to not showing who you are, not being yourself, because you're being someone else. You're not being you. And it's, I'm going to say sad again, because they will never know who you really are. Yeah, and we know what are the consequences. Having this low self-esteem, less confidence. Yeah. And I give you solutions, the two solutions, the self-awareness and the boundary settings. Then I will leave you with this today, and hope this would be helpful, maybe for another sister. Then let's share it. Let's spread out this video to help more sisters out there. Thank you, and see you to the next video.